Hi, it's Laura at Hyperstamper. How cute is this 1920s children's book that I've turned into quite a chunky junk journal here? This one is just really special to me. It's just such an endearing cover. That's how I received it. It's actually how it was made, with the spine here like this, and then a just as adorable image on the back. Look at this little girl with her scissors. And this is, the illustrator here is Marsh Lambert, who is a fantastic children's illustrator from the 20s. This was a Christmas present to Doreen. Here's the original first pages here. This was printed in London. And I put this beautiful doily here, handmade doily, with the 1950s doily page. And then this is a book cover that I just couldn't save. I tried and tried. I could not save it. So I put it in a journal so that it wouldn't go into the garbage. And I love the Baroque design around the edges. This is a treat. This is a full book here called the Yellow Cat, and it's fuzzy. I don't think the camera will pick it up, but the page is inside. Some little child has, over the years, drawn on a few of the pages, but it's fuzzy inside too. So it's very special. And because it's a children's book, I wanted it to live in this book. It's all mounted on top of that 1955 Highways of America Road Map Atlas. And we've got some hidden journaling spots here. This really cool vintage box piece here. And this is from the 50s, this bird plate, birds, eggs, and their nests. And then this is from the 70s. That's over 50 years old, that one. They're botanicals. We've got birds and botanicals there. Really cool cluster up here. That's from the 1800s, that little piece there. And then I made, that's a 1950s stamp collector's book page. And just all my little scraps of ephemera in here, including some really cool vintage bird pages. And that's made out of a vintage pocket dictionary page. Isn't that fun? Just a little extra place to journal on, some antique paper on there. Over 100 years old. And that's from the 1930s, that one. And this one here, come on, Laura, you can do it. Look at some little child colored the little lambs in. That's Bo Peep. Really nice fuzzy cardstock. Got the birds in the corner here. 1950s bingo card. And a 1950s receipt here. Another really fun cluster pocket made out of an encyclopedia page from the 30s. And this is a page that fell out of a book, early 1900s. You can journal on the back of that one, and there's a 1953 receipt there as well. Here is a beautiful old postcard. Look at how beautiful. I want to say that's the Rhine River. It is the Rhine River. And that is from about the 1920s. That one, isn't that cool? And glossy paper, that would have been a big deal. Put it back in its pocket. There we go. More fun clusters here. Everything in here, of course, as always, with all of my journals, is authentic, antique, and vintage ephemera. These plates that are to die for. This one came from this book, another Marsh Lambert plate. The Fox and the Stork fable. Everything. I don't use anything digital or copied or store-bought. That is also the cover of a book that I couldn't save, but it had this beautiful image of the wolf on it, so I made it into a journaling tag. There's a 1920s banknote here, and back here is the cover of a 1950s magazine. Look at this. Johnny Tillotson. Oh, it's just so fun. It's a lot of fun reading that. A lot of these you might recognize, and look at this hilarious ad on the back here. Of the front cover. So that's a real treasure, that one. 25 cents. Rest of that doily page, children's book page, some 1930s Monopoly money, and a vintage playing card that you can upcycle. I made this pocket here. Say something good. Always. This came from a children's book as well. And look at the beautiful foxing around the edges. That goes in there. And this is a plate from this book here. And that is from 1917. No, sorry, 1914. Isn't that beautiful? I got 12 of these books, all different from the series, and all from 1914. And I pulled out 140 plates from them. So you'll see a lot of journals coming out in the next few months with those. But that's one of the plates from there. Isn't that beautiful? Try again, Laura. There we go. Okay. Antique botanical black and white page there. Isn't that lovely? And here is an antique map from 1922 pulled out of a geography book. And that's Europe. It's just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And here is a plate that is Passaro. and that is from the 1950s. The painting, of course, is older. This is from the 1800s. I pulled out of a book. It's very brittle, but I liked it because it said notes, and it's actually a couple of pages there, and it's got the gold. Oh shoot, I'm going to replace that with another one. I just that's how brittle they are. They're very brittle. Sometimes you'll get very brittle things because when they're 150 years old, it's going to happen. But I will add more to that one there. That's because I'm rushing. There we go. All right, we've got the vintage sewing pattern here, and look at this wonderful old photograph. Somebody gave me a box of photographs. They didn't know who the person was, but this lady wrote a little note, the little history of this woman here, and she said Dad met Elsa in 1950, and this is something she acquired in the 60s. So I think that's pretty cool. Botanical vintage page here. Vintage school book paper, and look at this from the 1920s, how to make hand puppets. Shadow puppets, sorry, shadow puppets. This is 1882 here, done with the old quilled pen and ink. And then this is a really cool advertisement from the 1800s. Look at that. How cool is that, right? Put some antique paper on the back so that you could journal on the back if you like. And here is just a really pretty page from an antique book that you can journal on as well. Look at this wonderful page here. Aw, that's so great. It's from the book. And more antique plates here. And a 1950s Theater Arts Magazine page there. 1940s book here. Early 1900s Victorian Georgian Poets book. And this is a Polish embroidery book from 1955. Beautiful photography there. This is from 1937. And if you want me to switch out the date, you just let me know in the comments at checkout in my Etsy shop, hyperstamper.etsy.com. More kids plates, and that brings us to the end. So I hope you love it as much as I like making it, and come back soon. Bye for now.